The name says it all, bringing it to life, and linking the walk with the talk are three themes you will come to understand as it relates to our new parent groups and making things happen for our kids here at Design 39. This presentation represents the collective ideas that were generated from the various parent workshops that took place on how to improve the way parent groups should function at Design 39. Everyone who participated in the workshops are the true authors of the content. This presentation unveils an organized structure that supports the parents' ideas. This presentation illustrates their ideas in motion. The three dominant desires expressed by parents on how parent groups should operate at Design 39 are that it should be one entity, it should involve students, and it should not be the same people doing everything. Instead, this one group should include parents, teachers, students, and the community working together or collaborating to make things happen, which in turn generated the name of this one entity as the Design 39 Campus Collaborative, or the Collaborative for short. Now, in reality, the name mirrors the physical identity of the Design 39 campus. The architecture and space planning are by very design, very collaborative in nature. The Collaborative. The name says it all. Now that we have a name, let's see it come to life and explore the Collaborative's vision statement. A vision statement should achieve three things. It identifies the optimal desired future state of an organization. It functions as the North Star by providing guidance and inspiration, and it should be memorable. A vision statement really needs to make an impression. The Collaborative's vision statement achieves all three. It's an equation, a figurative equation. Parents, teachers, students, and the community to the Design 39th campus power times what every single parent has when it comes to the future success and well-being of their kids. And that is relentless drive, plus innovation, imagination, and investment equals the Design 39 Campus Collaborative. In support of the Collaborative's vision is its mission statement. A mission statement answers three questions about why an organization exists: what it does, who it does it for, and why it does what it does. The Collaborative unites parents, teachers, students, and the community to leverage ideas, technology, resources, and fundraising to enhance the Design 39 campus experience and its guiding principles. Now that we know the name and have been introduced to the Collaborative's vision and mission statements, let's learn about its structure. This is a graphical summary of how the Collaborative's Board of Directors is organized. In purple, you have 4 at-large parents, with 2 students appointed by the principal, which, if you recall, student involvement was a dominant desire parents expressed in the workshops, followed by a principal, 2 appointed teachers appointed by the principal, and in blue, you have 5 executive officers with 1 chair from each of the remaining 6 specialized committees. This board structure of 20 people highly encourages collaboration while discouraging the formation of cliques, which was a shared frustration apparent in the workshops. Now let's take a look at the details of what each committee does. At the executive committee level, you have all of the traditional roles: president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and assistant treasurer. The president, or CEO, will preside all meetings, supervise, direct, and control all activities, affairs, and board members, execute contracts, interface with district-level employees as needed, prepare the budget, and sign checks. The president-elect and vice president shall preside over the board in the absence of the president, lead the nominating committee, and oversee insurance policies. The secretary will handle the book of minutes, keep current copies of the articles of incorporation and bylaws, handle notice meetings, record keeping of contracts, etc., keep amendments, bylaws, and all contracts and insurance policies, keep 501c3 and all government contracts, and maintain hard and soft copy documentation. And finally, the treasurer and assistant treasurer keep the books of accounts, file taxes and provide tax receipts, deposit and disbursement of money and valuables, execute contracts, prepare budget, sign checks, and the assistant treasurer shall support the treasurer. The roles and responsibilities of the Executive Committee is that of running the day-to-day business operations. Their primary function is to make sure that the collaborative stays compliant. This slide is an organized structure of the Specialty Committee that represents parents' collective ideas about what the vision is for specialty committees to focus on. Each Specialty Committee has a chair and a co-chair, subcommittee directors, and is supported by a bank of volunteers. The goal of this structure is to help distribute the workload through subcommittees. The text in black represents possible subcommittees led by a subcommittee director. The goal is to get more people involved to share ideas and bring excitement. Once again, this is a collection of ideas that may change and evolve as the chair takes office and volunteers get involved. So for example, the Student Enrichment Chair Committee, examples of what subcommittees would include would be field trips, assemblies, showcase events like science nights, specialized groups like science and math olympiads, and they can create the social conscience, getting kids involved in charitable outreach. An example would be a coat drive, maybe a food drive, or even starting up a recycling program. And finally, student leadership is envisioned to fall under the Student Enrichment Committee. The Community and Culture Committee would concentrate on classroom connections. This is another term for a room parent. Social events like Experience Design 39. Student connections, perhaps a digital media club would be an example. Parent connections, maybe monthly social gatherings. And community outreach. A possible example would be an art program with senior citizens. The Technology and Innovation Committee would focus on the external website design and management, the internet with parent portals, databases such as a volunteer, donor, sponsorship, etc. database, and web meetings. The Marketing and Communications Committee focuses on event promotion, public relations, external website content, social media, yearbook, announcements, and finally the school master calendar. The Fundraising Committee focuses on fundraising events, grant writing, business outreach, and project-specific drives. An example would be a collection for possibly 3D printers. And finally, you have the Volunteer Bank Committee. Their focus would be recruiting volunteers, capturing volunteer profiles, fulfilling call for volunteer requests, and coming up with a system for accountability management. By design, this organized structure reduces the likelihood of the same people doing all the work, which was one of the dominant issues identified through the parent workshops. This very structure speaks collaboration. Now let's link the walk with the talk and see the parents' ideas in motion. What follows is an illustrative example of how the collaborative is designed to operate, or how it's envisioned to operate. Let's pretend that the Student Enrichment Committee has determined that there should be a certain number of field trips, assemblies, and showcase events that take place throughout the school year. The Student Enrichment Chair approaches the Executive Committee for approval and budget guidance. The Executive Committee, which might be comprised of members who have traditional office or field jobs, as well as stay-at-home parents, they contact the Technology and Innovation Committee to help with web meetings, so that everyone on the Executive Committee can participate who might not have otherwise due to the inability to leave their workplace or get a babysitter. Through this web meeting, the Executive Committee decides that fundraising events are a sound starting point to help fund the budget, and so they contact the Fundraising Committee. The Fundraising Committee needs a variety of volunteers to help with fundraising events, and so they contact the Volunteer Bank to help fulfill the call for volunteer requests. The Volunteer Bank taps into the volunteer database created with the assistance of the Technology and Innovation Committee to help fulfill the request. Meanwhile, the Executive Committee then contacts marketing to lead the charge in promoting and communicating the fundraising events. Marketing would like to brand the events. For maximum impact, they decide a video would be a great idea and they need a graphic designer to help. They contact the Volunteer Bank to reference the volunteer profiles and help identify if any volunteers noted graphic design as their superpower. With the assistance of video, marketing has decided to include students. with their belief that students can have a great impact in delivering a powerful message to evoke emotional response. Student leadership then contacts Student Connections to help enroll students from, let's say, a digital media club for assistance. Now, this is just one example of how the collaborative is designed and envisioned to operate. One group with broad interests collaborating so that it is not the same people doing everything, all the while including students. This truly links the walk with the talk. Through this presentation, we learned the name, the Design 39 Campus Collaborative, or the Collaborative for short, which truly says it all. And we saw it come to life through its vision and mission statements, and we witnessed how its organized structure truly links the walk with the talk as a collaborative force to make things happen for our kids here at Design 39. One more thing, and this speaks to everyone who has a child enrolled in Design 39. When you talk about getting involved in your child or children's school, don't just talk about it. Be about it and volunteer.